Hello, we are live. It is Throwback, Thursday, June 20th, 2019. Steve Sipress here in downtown Scottsdale, where I just hosted the inaugural kickoff event of my new group, CEO Scottsdale. And no, I did not host it here at the Bubble Room, whatever that is, although it looks like fun. And I do love the misters. I'm sure the temps hit about 105 today, so the misters are very cool here in the Scottsdale area. And I also did not hold it at the Social Tap Eatery that is over there. No, I held it across the street there at the Galleria Corporate Center, even though my event was for entrepreneurs for the most part and not for corporate types, although there was some corporate people there and people looking for connections to corporate connections. So there you go. It's an apt place to hold the event at the Galleria Corporate Center, right in the heart of the fun partying area of Scottsdale, Arizona. So, as one of the bonuses that my attendees received, they received over $500 worth of business building materials, courses, books, checklists, ebooks, videos, you name it. And my VIPs received over $6,000 worth of bonuses with additional resources and courses and coaching and all kinds of great stuff. My contribution, one of them, was I just signed copies of one of my books, one of my best-selling books that I noticed while I was signing that the copyright date is 2013. Hence, I said, what do you know? There it is. Copyright 2013. Where is it? There it is. Wrong page. Are we live or what? There it is. Who's in charge of this? 2013 Successful Selling Systems, Inc. That is still the name of my corporation. However, this book is about 6 years old, and I wrote it along with contributions from, I think it said on here 13. Yep, 13 other super achievers throughout the Chicagoland area. This group of illustrious entrepreneurs all contributed chapters to the book. One of them, in fact, contributed 2 chapters to the book. He insisted on being the first chapter and the last chapter because he's very smart, and he knows that when people read books, they very rarely read even the entire first chapter. Sometimes they skim right to the end and go right to the last chapter, so he was very smart to invest because everybody, we all chipped in to share the costs of the, first of all, we submitted our writing. I didn't edit any of these, so everyone submitted their success stories, which, by the way, all entrepreneurs know success stories and why they're so inspiring is because they're not simply a story of success. There are all kinds of ups and downs and nearly giving up and dramatic, tough situations and all that kind of stuff. So very inspiring. And he made a lot of money from sliding this book across the desk when he was in business meetings to get big deals, and they looked at him and said, well, clearly you're the expert on this topic, and he got the deal. So he knew I want to be if they look at the end and want to be if they look at the beginning, so he doubly invested. He chipped in twice towards the cost of I was going to say the writing, but everyone just submitted their own writing, but then it had to be editing and proofreading and typesetting and all the cover artwork, which this is volume 2 in the Ultimate Entrepreneur Success Secrets series. I published volume 1, I think, in 2011, so a couple years before, and so this had the same photo on the cover and pretty much everything the same except the color, and of course all the content on the inside, which you would think is what matters, and yet if you've heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, the reason that's a saying is because that's what people do. We judge books by their cover, and very rarely does anyone. I mean, I just signed, I don't know, about 15 of my books or so here. And, come on now. I'm not expecting anyone at all to read even one page of any of them. Because that's just the way it is. Not to mention that I handed them to very successful, very busy entrepreneurs. Don't have a lot of time to read 6-year-old stories about other entrepreneurs. But I did coach them and suggested that anytime they're feeling down, and they're inevitably, because it happens, and they're going through some troubled time in their business, that'd be a good time to pick this up, turn to any chapter, and read an inspiring story from one of their fellow entrepreneurs and probably lift them up, saying, well, I don't have it that bad, or see, I'm not alone in this. And so that's maybe the lesson here for Throwback Thursday, besides throwing it back to a book from 6 years ago, which is what we call evergreen in nature. The stories in here are timely forever. Entrepreneurs are always have been and always will be going through life of ups and downs. Not a life of guarantee like when you're living off the government, or when close to a guarantee, or when things are taken care of you by big companies and corporations. You know, we are flying out there without a net on our own, and we love it. And so if that's you, I celebrate you being an entrepreneur, and I understand what you're going through, and so do the other 13 contributors to this book. But the lesson there is you are not alone, and you are to be celebrated as an entrepreneur. So when you're going through those down times and those tough times, that might be the time to reach out. Speaking of which, if you want to reach out to me about nuts and bolts, how to put a book together, or how to get contributors into a book, or how to write a book, or how to write a chapter of a book, or how to make it a bestseller, or how to promote it, or how to do any of that, or you just want to talk because you're going through one of those times and you want to reach out, you're not sure who to talk to. And you know, entrepreneurs, a lot, I always say, I got it from a mentor of mine, entrepreneurs are the loneliest person on earth, because when times are good, what are we going to go blabbing that around to everybody? You know, we're going to start telling our family how great things are. They're going to say, great, now it's time to take some more time off, or now we're going to Disney World, or you know, you're going to tell your employees times are great, they're all going to say we demand a raise. You're going to tell your suppliers how things are great, they're going to say we're raising the cost. So tell your customers, they're going to say you should lower the cost of your goods, your product or service. So not a lot of people can tell when times are great, and similarly, you can't really go blabbing either when times are bad. Not to mention, it's human nature as humans, we kind of go into a little shell, and a little shame comes over. And again, nothing to be ashamed about for entrepreneurs. We go through ups and downs, what we do. But are you going to go tell your family, hey, times are tough, like dad's not providing right now, like you all should be worried? And no, of course not. And you don't tell that to your suppliers. They're going to say, well, then we're going to take cash on the barrel and no terms anymore, because it sounds like you might be going out of business and we want our money now. And if you tell your employees, they might go looking for work somewhere else, thinking you're going under. The same thing with your customers. You tell them times are bad, they might all flee somewhere else. So again, whether times are good or bad, we don't have a lot of people we can share it with. So if you're just looking for someone to share good times or bad times with, and that's all you want to reach out, then that's a good reason in itself to go to helpfromsteve.com, and we'll just get on the phone and have a little chat, and we'll talk through it, and then we'll go back along our ways. So that's helpfromsteve.com. I love celebrating the up times of entrepreneurs, and I like helping other entrepreneurs get through their down times that we all have. And so I'm reminded of that with my book, Ultimate Entrepreneur Success Secrets, from 6 years ago. 13 contributors plus my story of the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. Very motivating, and there are some how-to, strategic, step 1, 2, 3 tidbits of strategies and tactics in there too, because as you might be able to tell from my daily videos that I'm recording every day for over 830 days now, no matter where I am or what story I'm telling, I just can't help but throw in some tips to help you build a better business, whatever that means to you, so that you can have more fun, less stress, make more money. That's what owning a business should be all about. And then all kinds of other things come from it. So that'll do it for Throwback Thursday from the center of Scottsdale, in front of the, I don't know if you can read the sign behind me, the Bubble Room. Wonder what that's like on the inside. Then again, I don't really want to know. And across the street from the Social Tap Eatery. I'm heading home to do some eatery of dinner with my beautiful wife, Michelle. So we'll call it a day here, and I'll be back in tomorrow on Foundation Friday. I'll have a foundational business building tip for you. It's a good one. It's got to do with some advice that I gave recently to an entrepreneur and how they responded to the advice. It's very interesting, and also a very instructional and educational story for all entrepreneurs. So I hope you'll catch me then. Thanks for being here today. Over and out. Bye-bye.